Morning, people. Good morning. Welcome to our morning broadcast. Guys, we're going to have to find a new name for the program. I hear that teacup is already being used. So you all are going to have to come up with a name for this morning program. All right, we're just pulling up some information for you. All right, guys. So the big news this morning. Well, a number of persons knew from about midnight into this morning that Jamaica is now reporting 6 more new cases. 6 more cases of the coronavirus, bringing the number now to 8 confirmed cases in Jamaica. Yes, so those of you who haven't heard, at about midnight last night, the Ministry of Health issued a press release to say that we have 6 more confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Jamaica. And that was posted on our Instagram and Facebook page, Best of Jamaica. So we're going to run through because there are some details as it relates to the 6 new cases, right? I was just listening a talk show program, and the Ministry of Health is indicating that they suggest that in another 8 weeks, everything will peak. We'll have the maximum amount of cases as it relates to the coronavirus. For those of you who have not seen the post, we broke the news this morning. It was too late for us to do a broadcast, so we had put the information out on our Instagram and Facebook page immediately after the Ministry of Health sent us that press release. And we're going to go through that for you because there are some important details that will be important to you guys. All right. Hi, Sandra. I'm going to talk back to you guys in a few. Let me just run through this. All right. So this press release comes from the. Let me just get that back up. It's coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and as I said, it came into circulation around midnight last night. All right, so it says Jamaica confirms 6 new COVID-19 cases. Morning, Empress. And this, so Kingston, Jamaica, 13th of March 2020 is dated. Jamaica has confirmed 6 new cases of the coronavirus disease 2019 on the island, COVID-19. The case which bring to 8 the number of confirmed cases include, and we're gonna give you a quick morning, guys. Morning. I see everybody just waking up. Morning, Raheem. Morning, Sandra. Morning, guys. I'm gonna talk back with you in a few, but let me just run through. Morning, Brenda. Let me just run through quickly. The press release issued from the Ministry of Health. Morning, guys. For one morning, Stacey, morning, Miles. Morning, guys. Morning. Let me run through this quickly. Everybody's here. All right. What we're talking about, for those of you who are just joining us, 6 new cases of the coronavirus confirmed in Jamaica. All right. So, and the Ministry of Health sent out a press release, and they have broken that down. Let me get that down. Morning, Shimoni, Chris Kids. All right. So the cases which bring to 8 the number of confirmed cases. So 6 now discovered yesterday into last night with the 2 that we've all been talking about. All right. So there are 2 males, and we're talking now about the 6 new cases. Of the 6, there are 2 males aged 63 and 67 who came into the island on March 7th from Trinidad, having traveled from Malaysia by way of Dubai and London. They presented at hospital on March 11th. So that's the first two, which were males. The third one was a male, 36 years old, who traveled from Manchester, England. He was taken to hospital from his hotel via ambulance on March 11th. All right, and the fourth one male who is 31, a Jamaican overseas ship worker who came in from the Canary Islands via Portugal and Miami. He arrived in the island on February 25th and presented to hospital with symptoms on March 10. Right? And the fifth one, another male, one male, and he is 58, who is the father of the first patient who was confirmed with COVID-19. He was discovered ill at home on March 11th. So that's the fifth one. And this now, the first person who reported as contracted the virus, right? The father is now infected, so he's 58 and he's the father of the first patient. He was discovered ill at home. And the final of these 6 new persons is female, so there's only one female in this new mix right here. One female who is 34, who is a close contact also of the first patient who was confirmed with COVID-19 on the island. All right, the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Honorable Christopher Tufton, will meet with the media on Friday afternoon to provide details. He is currently examining the level of preparedness for the virus in Western Jamaica. All right, guys, so there you go. 6 new cases, 5 males, 1 female. Of that, two of them, of that 6, sorry, 2 of them are family members of the first person who reported the virus. I see somebody asked where this is. I am suspecting that it is still in Kingston. The press release did not say where they are from, but I am suspecting that it is in Kingston. All right, guys, so concern looms as it relates to Jamaica's preparedness. You know, I gather there are long lines at the supermarket this morning. Yesterday, Waxy is saying that one is from St. Thomas. Right, so I gather that the supermarkets, there are a lot of persons at the supermarkets this morning stocking up. You will remember yesterday we told you that the government, through the Prime Minister, announced that schools have been ordered closed, well, classes suspended for the next 14 days, and the government will come back with an assessment over the next 10 days as it relates to the school system. So as we speak, the children are at home, but it is still expected that teachers and other educational administrators, they are to report to work so that a plan of action can be put in place as it relates to delivering the curriculum or to teach students online, because we know like PEP is coming up, CXC is coming up, right? We have heard that Trinidad and Tobago reported its first case. Guyana has reported a case with a death so far, right? So, you know, and there's still a lot of fear and panic. I mean, we can understand. We ask persons to be calm, but I think persons are genuinely frightened frightened because they don't know what to expect. Right? It's really the first of its kind. And this virus is sparing none. We see Hollywood superstar Tom Hanks and his wife are quarantined in Australia. I think he posted on his Instagram page, right? They are quarantined. They have been diagnosed as having the corona virus. All right. So this coronavirus is partially known. Morning, Copper. Where the other Miguel is asking, well, Miguel, we're just saying that. Well, one person here just told us that one of the 6 cases is from St. Thomas, but what we heard was that the first person who reported as having the virus was on the border of St. Andrew and St. Thomas, and 2 of the 2 new 6 2 persons are related to the first case, so I suspect it's that end. But the press release which came out from the ministry did not indicate where these persons are. So far, what is being said, it is Kingston. We get some update on that. We understand that the Minister Tufton is now in the western side of Jamaica. That would include like Montego Bay, Bachelor, and Ocho Rios, to assess what is happening and their preparedness, right? He's expected this evening to give the country a full update as it relates to what is happening in the western side of the country. So in total, 8 cases and 8 reported cases. My honest belief is that there are much more than 8. There are much more than 8 cases. There has to be more than 8 cases because 8 cases have been reported. So you can imagine how many other persons has the illness and probably are just afraid of being quarantined. And remember, the symptoms are flu. The Prime Minister of Canada has been tested positive for the virus. Sandy Good is saying that. Right, I didn't hear that. That's something that we have to check. Sandy Good is saying that the Prime Minister of Canada and his wife has been tested. I believe it's more too. Yeah, Yvonne, I really believe that it's more because that is what the government is reporting. You can just imagine how many other persons have this flu-like symptom and they are not they are not reporting it. And I guess some of the symptoms will be more severe than some. So some people just think that they have a regular cold, even though it could be a regular cold. But I honestly do believe that they are more poor. Yeah, it's the same thing I'm saying, Rushling TV. Yeah, that's the same thing I'm just saying. Right. A couple of them. Prime Minister wife of our country has it for true, plus many others. Stay tuned. All right, Brenda said we are all right for sure. Right. Yeah. So there are concerns now in Jamaica as we speak about the readiness and the preparedness. The government has been given a thumbs up as it relates to giving information, keeping the country up to date as what it's happening, but they are getting some flack over supplies. We gather that there aren't enough supplies out there in the medical facilities, and also generally in the supermarkets. The persons are flocking the supermarkets for medical stuff, right? So we have to. The government is aware of it because persons have been talking on the talk shows. People have been telling them that look, we need medical supplies. Things on the road. Well, this morning I drove out in a few town centers in St. Elizabeth, right? Well, it was early, so things seem very calm. Not the usual hustle and bustle, but that would be from the fact that the schoolers are home, because normally in the early mornings you will have the school children from all over gathering at the bus stops to traverse to their schools. So this morning they're not out there, so there's less traffic and confusion out there, you know. So things are relatively calm. I think persons welcomed the announcement of the closure of the schools, because even before the public announcement came, well, Jamaica is not easy, you know. Even before the public announcement came, persons already created their own fake press release to send out a statement that the public schools were closed. You know, so and there are some parents who already pulled their children from school and actually went to the school to find out what is happening, but they asked their children to stay home. So I'm very happy about this virus because I know it's coming from God. He is revisiting the Egyptians and the deadly plagues. Someone is just saying that. I didn't say it as you did, but I said it the other day in a broadcast. Make sure they'll wash them hand, yeah, for 20 seconds. Yeah, Peter, morning. Right, I said it in another way, that I believe that God has show people say I'm still in charge, I'm world. You know, because everybody believes so. They are so mighty now, prime ministers and presidents and MPs and councillors and chairman of this and chairman of that. Everybody behave like them big and them bold. So I think God does a show person, look, I'm still in control of this world, and I can slow you guys down no matter how powerful you think you are, and no matter what sort of machine and computer programs you're writing. I can bring this world to a halt, boom, with a snap of a finger. But some persons saying that they think that it is the last of days. I don't think so. Interestingly, I'm going to try to find, and there is a publication in circulation where they're saying it's called The End of Days, and the author, well, they say that she has died. The author predicted this, you know, in it, where they said round about 2020 there will be a flu-like symptom or disease virus going around, and they said that this book was probably written like 8 years ago. So there was an author of the book. I'm going to get it before. I hope Colleen can give me that little thing so I can read it for you. But there is an excerpt from a book that was written from a lady that was written 8 years ago, where she predicted this virus. Again, we need to check the facts of that, but she was specific to saying that round about 2020 there would be a flu-like virus which will sweep the nation, and the book is talking about the end of days. Sylvia Brown predicted it too. Ras, tell me about Sylvia Brown. What Sylvia Brown is saying. You know, in this time, everybody, some persons talk, well, not everybody, some persons talking about end of days. What do you think, guys? It is the end of days for some races of the evil people, but we shall be here forever as promised. The book name, Eyes of Darkness. Yes, Chaz, that is the name. Philip Morning, that is the name of the book, Eyes of Darkness. Right, no man, there's another one too. There's another one too. End of Days. As soon as Colleen comes to work, as soon as she comes into the studio, I'm going to get that for you. I'm gonna get that for you for sure. Yeah, so that's going around. Not even the angels in heaven know the time. Yeah, by Dean Kunst. I'm gonna get it. Yeah. Yes, guys. So the six more cases of the coronavirus, and as expected, the talk shows today will be all about that. I just hope that there isn't any panic across the society this morning. Guys, can you imagine that in the midst of all of this, we have to confirm it as well, that we heard of a robbery and murder in Portmore. There was a voice note going around where a lady was saying that they were looking for a black Subaru in Portmore because the persons were armed and they killed her sister-in-law and another robbery, and they were asking person to be on the lookout for a black station wagon Subaru. So in all of this, you know, still the gunmen are on the loose creating havoc. You know what I mean? Alright, we have some information here because persons have been wondering. We have been hearing that the first COVID-19 attended a funeral. There are some more details now coming out of the funeral. Okay, so first COVID-19 patient attended funeral of Gloria Clark. Right? Ministry wants to find other mourners. So they are now tracking down the mourners of that funeral. Let's get into that for you, because a lot of persons wanted to know what this funeral was about and how many persons that she got. Morning, Christopher. I had 2 dreams coming of the Lord 2 nights ago. Wow. Alright, let me just get through this for you, because persons have been asking about the funeral that the first case went to. Alright, so the ministry is now reporting that the first patient who tested positive for COVID-19 attended the funeral of the late Gloria Clark on Saturday, March 7, 2020. The interment was held at the Meadows Memorial Gardens in St. Catherine. In a statement last Thursday evening, the ministry said it is trying to find other people who attended the funeral. They are being asked to contact any of the numbers that I'm going to list now. I told you yesterday about the number to call with respect to any reports. That's 888-1-LOVE or 888-663-5683 or 888-754-7792. And there are some other, I hope other numbers, but you should be able to get through to one of those. Alright, there have been earlier calls for the ministry to disclose the details about the funeral, as I said before, for which the patient had arrived in Jamaica so that person could know if they were exposed. However, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuxton was reluctant to release the details, saying he never wanted to create panic. Well, now we have it, guys. The funeral which the first case, the lady, or the first case of the virus reported, visited the funeral of Gloria Clark, and the burial took place at the Meadows Memorial Park in St. Catherine. So persons who know that they attended that funeral, you know, bring yourself in to be tested. You know, bring yourself in to be tested, guys. So at least we have that information. That's a bit of information that we wanted out for a very long time. All right. We are also hearing one of the concerns that persons have been asking with schools shutting down and with all the panic going around. A lot of persons wanted to know if the government had enough food in circulation in the country, because persons are expecting that imports will be cut down, and I don't know, Jamaica get this thing where they might import a whole heap of food. A whole heap of food we are import, you know, we're not self-sufficient. You know, Michael Mann used to say be self-reliant, and a lot of the food that we eat now is being imported. So there's a concern about if we'll have enough food in the island if this continues. Well, the finance minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, he's saying something on that. Let's hear what he's saying. So he's saying food for months Nigel Clark is saying that we'll have food for months. Let's see if he says how many months though. In plea against panic, Clark says 3 months supply of essentials in warehouse. So the finance minister is saying that we have at least 3 months of supplies in warehouses. Let's see what else he's saying. All right, so the local retail and distribution trade has been given assurance that it has up to 3 months supply of basic foods and other essentials in storage, the Jamaican government has announced. The declaration comes amid rising concern about the impact of the novel coronavirus, which has triggered a shutdown of Jamaica's public school system and other educational institutions, and panic buying of food and sanitizing agents. There is no need to panic. Inventories remain strong, said Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, echoing the message the Holiness Administration sought to convey during separate Jamaica House press conferences yesterday. The Finance Minister, who met with large players in manufacturing and distribution, also sought to calm nervous workers and business operators who he acknowledged have exposed concerns about liquidity in the economy. The central bank has informed the private sector that there are sufficient reserves in place and that it stands ready to respond, Clark told the observers. The Bank of Jamaica has buffers for times exactly like this, where they may need to step in there if there are shocks in the system that would warrant their intervention, he insisted. So the government is saying that we have 3 months supply of food, right? Disgraceful how Joe Biden's speech yesterday was spent on defending China. Okay, Pope Smear is saying that we missed that, we didn't see that, we need to pull up that speech. Yes, I've seen that story in Terrifying. I was shocked. Nordia Duncan. Right? Yeah, so the finance ministry is saying that we have at least 3 months supplies. 3 months is not a long time, so they need to get more stuff in. Steve saying that he honestly thinks that Tufton should be sacked. Why are you saying that? Tell us why you say that. Chris? Somebody wants your head here. Outsourcing sector move into cushion. And we told you already that the persons, the government is they're tracking down now some persons who came in on a flight with patient 1 and patient 0. It is. We told that already. Let's look back at that. Persons who traveled to Jamaica from England on British Airways flight BA2263 on March 4 and may have come in contact with the first person who tested positive for the COVID-19 are being asked to self-identify by calling 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683 so that their status can be known and the requisite actions taken. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the appeal at a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday. He said it is in the public's best interest that persons who are on the flight be identified and their condition assessed. By virtue of the flight manifesto, we will be seeking to make contact. We know that not all information given could be accurate. Some people may have made mistake in their address and we can't find them. So it's important that they self-identify. Holness said if persons report symptoms, profile the Ministry of Health and Wellness will respond accordingly. Right? All right. And one of the things that persons have been saying is that when if you think that you are showing some of the symptoms, don't just run or rush into the health facility. See if you can call first so that they can make preparations to take you in. I know that I know that some of the health centers and you can't just walk in like that now. You have to go through a specific segment and you have to be screened before you're actually allowed in. So persons are being asked to to try and call first and make preparations to go in. So that's one of the things that is being said, right? Let's see what else is saying. Most of the talks in Jamaica this morning is about the 6 new cases. Yeah, Brenda. Yeah. Nobody under 25 has it. Yeah, so far. Well, reported. Nobody under 25 reported. And as I said yesterday, the information coming out is that what they have seen across the world is that most of the persons who eventually die are persons who already had other complication, other medical complications. All right, we're seeing here Kenya has confirmed first case of coronavirus in East Africa. There are 15 new cases in Florida. Florida is reporting 15 new cases. And the Australian Home Affairs Minister says he has coronavirus. So, boy, it is a pandemic for sure. The World Health Organization, WHO, said it. WHO. PEP exams postponed. Yeah, we were wondering about that. So all the parents, it has now been confirmed that PEP exam confirmed. We are hearing cries from a member of parliament from East Westmoreland. That sounds like Luther Buchanan. He's making an appeal for water. He wants water. But that shouldn't be the case in a time like this when they say that we need to wash your hands. Water has to be out there. Let's look at the PEP exams postponed because a lot of persons will be concerned about that. All right. The primary exit profile PEP performance task test scheduled for March 19 and 20. Okay, so that was scheduled for March 19 and 20. 73 cases in Romania. People under 25 can still be a carrier, so don't think you're immune. Take precautions. Good words there, Russ. Good words there. CEU, son to Roman. Man, I think this coronavirus thing is a similar thing to a zombie outbreak. Some YouTube Inc. is asking where the case is. We don't know for sure. Most of it, the reports we are getting out of Kingston, but we don't want to say it's all in Kingston, but we don't have the full details. Right? Let's see what they say about the PEP. The primary exit profile PEP performance task test scheduled for March 19 and 20 have been postponed. These exams would have fallen within the 14-day school closure period announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness at a press conference at Jamaica House yesterday. Holness said this decision to close all public schools was taken after consultation with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and will be reviewed after 10 days. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Grace McLean, said that the Ministry is reviewing the schedule for PEP. The Ministry has the capacity to postpone the assessment and to make a determination later, depending on the number of days that the students are going to be out. So we will assess after the next 14 days, and based on what happens then, we may take a decision for postponement of the assessment to take place in April, she said. Grade 6 students are scheduled to sit the curriculum-based test on April 23 and 24. Dr. McLean said that where the students are not able to sit all 3 sets of papers, we have already done one on February 25, and we have their grade 5 assessment that could be utilized in this specific case. Let's go some more down into this. Grade 5 students are scheduled to do the performance task on May 28 and May 29, and grade 4 students are scheduled to do PEP performance task test on June 25 and 26. So there you have it, guys, for those persons who were asking. PEP exams have been postponed. All right. I hope the youngsters use the extra time being at home to do some reading. Right. All right. All right, so that's the big story is trending right now, guys. Jamaica has reported 6 more new cases of the coronavirus. We will keep you up to date over the course of the day. Do remember to subscribe and also to hit the notification button so that you can be notified when we go live. I'm Current Spencer. This is our morning broadcast. This is BOJTV Live.